Hi kids, we're doing 9.1, which is angle measurement. You will be using a protractor to find the measure of the angles, and that can be sometimes a little bit tricky, but I'm sure you'll get the hang of it quickly. We will also be learning about the angle addition postulate, which is adding two angles together. I know that sounds tricky, but it's not really that tricky. I'm sure you'll pick it up quickly. Make sure you pause the video to do your practice problems and have fun. Hi, today we'll be doing 9.1 angle measurement. We'll be finding the measure of an angle and making angles with protractors. We use protractors on Monday. Hopefully you have a pretty good grasp on that. Let's get started. An angle is formed, as we can see right down here, when you have a ray and another ray, and they come together at an endpoint. All right, that endpoint is called a vertex. So we have two rays, ray A and ray C, right there, and they form an endpoint at B, and together they make angle ABC or angle CBA. All right, you can say it. Angle ABC, angle CBA. There is the angle sign, okay, which we've already gone over. Clear that ink and move on down. The vertex of the angle is B, which is where the endpoints come together. That is called the vertex. When we're naming an angle, we always use all three letters, like angle ABC or angle CBA. All right? Hopefully, if there's any questions about that, you're going to have to come and see me. There's also videos down at the bottom to watch about angles if you're really a little bit lost. But otherwise, you're going to have to come and see me about that. This is things we're going to go over on Monday. If you weren't here, then you're going to have to do a little bit of catching up. All right? From here on, we're going to use a protractor. Angles are measured with a protractor. Protractor is a measuring device that measures how open an angle is. Angles are measured in degrees, and we'll always have the little circle symbol on it, like 90 degrees for an angle. Okay? There is a protractor. Now, a protractor can be a little bit confusing because it has two sets of angles. So you can start measuring from here, or you can start measuring from here. And that's a little bit confusing. You can see if I start measuring from here, I want to start with 0. If I start measuring from here, I want to start with 0. Okay? So on this angle that they have here, this one right here, you can see that if they start from 0, they go up 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. Looks like that's a 45-degree angle. Okay, we're starting almost backwards for some of you. If I started from 180 and went from here, it is not a 135-degree angle like it says right there. That'd be starting from 180. We want to start always from 0. All right? You want to start as it says here. Start from 0. You always want to put the vertex right in the center of the protractor. That is a key thing. But once again, that is stuff we talked about a little bit on Monday, so it's not shouldn't be brand new for you. Here's another one. It starts from the other side this time, this angle. We don't start from 180 and go up here and say this is 70. No, no, no. We start from 0, right there, and go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110. Okay? Hopefully you know that this is bigger than 90 degrees anyway when you look at it. You have to start from 0, and once again, you put the vertex right in the little spot for the protractor. Okay? Sometimes you, when you're looking at this, you might get a little confused by the numbers, but always start where it says 0. All right? And that is the beginning of this video. Okay, the next part of our video is we're going to learn to use a protractor to draw an angle. So the first thing you start by doing is, although it says draw a horizontal line number 1, you want to start by making a point and then drawing a straight line. You can use the edge of your protractor to make sure it's straight, and it can go either way. If you wanted to draw a line that went this way, that would be fine, as long as it's straight and has an end point. Okay? Next, you would take your protractor and you would line up the end point right where the vertex is supposed to be, right there. Okay? And it would go from 0, this would be lined up, and the line would come right out here at 0. All right? Let's say that you wanted to make it 50 degrees. You would then make sure that you're starting at 0, and you would count up 50 degrees. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Make your point. Okay? And then, I've got to get rid of this other part right here, kids. Then I am going to, after that, all I have to do is use my protractor and line up this dot right here with this dot and use a straight edge and go out there, and now I should have a 50-degree angle. Once again, being careful to start at 0 and go up and not go all the way across over here to 50 when I started at 0. Okay, don't use the inside because I was not starting at 180. I was starting at 0. That's how we draw a 50-degree angle. Sorry, kids, no, there's no school, but there's the bell anyway. All right? So you can see, after they drew the angle right here, they removed the protractor. And after they made that mark at 50, removed the protractor, and then they connected the dots. This is exactly what I was talking about back there. Okay? You can use this to draw any angle between 0 and 180. Okay? When two smaller angles are formed, okay, then you use, this is called the angle addition postulate. And we've already talked about this a little bit, but this is when you take two smaller angles, like angle A, D, B, this one right here, and another angle, angle B, D, C, and you add them together, and you get angle A, D, C. That is the angle addition postulate. I'm sure most of you know how to do that, and you didn't even know you were doing the angle addition postulate. All right? So, let's look at this a little closer. Where am I? There I am. All right. How many angles are there below? I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can name all 3 angles below. But be careful that you're not naming the same angle twice. For example, I do not want to name this angle right here, angle X, U, Y, and then call it angle Y, U, X. That's the same angle twice. All right? Pause the video and see if you can make sure you name all 3 angles. All right, good. Hopefully you used U for the vertex every time. And let's see, looks like they dissected them all right there, and you have all 3 of them. And you could have named each angle twice, 2 different ways, so there are lots of different answers. Check your answers and see how you did. All right, next. I would like you to try and measure the three angles using your protractor. There's a little bit more difficult one. You have all three angles. You have all three angles here. Try and find them using your protractor and see if you can measure angle X, U, Y with your protractor and angle Y, U, Z with your protractor and angle X, U, Z with your protractor, and see if you can find the measure of those angles and label them correctly with an angle sign. All right, pause it and see if you can do that. Now, using a protractor, when you pause it and see if you can do that, hopefully your protractor will fit right on that, right on your iPad screen and able to do that. You can hopefully see that you're going to be close to these. You might not be exact with your measurement, but if you can be a couple, like for angle X, U, Y, if you were somewhere between 87 and 80 degrees, you did a pretty good job. And YUZ, if you were somewhere between 45 and 40 degrees, you did a pretty good job. And for angle XUZ, if you were between 130 and 120, that would be good enough. The biggest thing is, I hope you're not getting the opposite measurements, and that's what we have to watch out for. For example, on angle XUY, if you're getting somewhere around 96 degrees or something like that, you're not starting at 0. And for the other one, if you're getting around 135 or something like that for YUZ, you're doing it backwards. And if you're getting around 45 degrees, 45, 50 degrees for XUZ, you have it backwards and you're not starting at 0. Something definitely to be careful of, sorry. All right, pause the video and see if you can find what the angle, what the measurement of this angle is, please. Okay, as you come back, hopefully you started at 0 and you got here and you got 50 degrees. Between 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, you got 50 degrees and you labeled it correctly. Okay, so in our assignment today, you are going to have to find the measurement of the angle. You're going to have to draw some angles, and you might have to use the angle postulate theory and find two angles together and find what they add up to. I'm sure you'll be able to do that. Ask me if you have any questions. Thanks.